Welcome back to another episode of Fix My Firm. So this is part 2 of how do I spend less money on marketing. Again, I am not an expert marketer. I don't claim to be an expert marketer. Now, I do a lot of marketing and I've worked with a lot of law firms from a CFO accounting perspective. And there's some things that we've seen or strategies that have helped them improve the amount of money that they're spending on marketing. So we're going to dive into a couple of strategies and I'm going to take it from the CFO's perspective. So one of the things that I looked at is a couple of the people who sent this question in. A lot of the fact patterns were about the same. So I'm just going to summarize a couple of different firms that kind of sent the same question in. So in this case, when the firm sent in a question, they said, how do I spend less money on marketing? So a couple of the things that I noticed when they gave some of the context about it is when it comes down to their marketing strategy, they didn't seem to have a very clear picture of who they were trying to do business with. So here's what I would say is when you're spending money on your marketing, if you were to make an ad or a commercial and you can't really define or clarify who are you trying to attract, chances are you're going to be spending a lot more money than you actually need to because your ad is way too generic. Think about it this way. We provide bookkeeping and CFO services for law firms. We also create resources and calculators and tools for law firms to actually use. Now, let's say if I created an ad and I just made it for law firms in general. I didn't give no specifications, just, hey, we do bookkeeping for law firms. And we put that ad out there. Chances are I'm going to have to spend a lot of money on trying to get this in front of potential lawyers or get this in front of law firms. And I'm going to spend a lot of money because they're going to need to see that ad a lot. Plus, because I gave no context in the ad, they're going to need to see the ad at the same time that they are thinking about hiring an accountant or hiring a bookkeeper. If they aren't thinking about hiring a bookkeeper, they might see the ad, but they're going to just completely blow it off because there's nothing in the ad that really connects with them because it's way too generic. Now, let's say on the other hand, if I took the time to really spell it out and said, you know what? We do bookkeeping for law firms that are making $2 million or more in revenue. And they tend to have about 2 or more associates or attorneys in the firm. And often what we find is that the law firm owner and the law firms who hire us is that they're not quite comfortable that they really understand what all is going on in the numbers. Like they get these financial reports occasionally from their bookkeeper, but they still don't know how to actually use them to make smart business decisions that could provide the firm with more profitability and allow them to grow and move towards their goals. Now, if I add more context like that into the ad, what you're probably going to see is I don't need to spend as much money because that ad is going to resonate with my potential client a lot more. So when you think about whether it is your organic content that you create, whether it's on social media or email marketing or wherever you're distributing it, or YouTube, and also your paid advertising and marketing, if you are not being very clear about who you do business with, chances are you're spending way more money than you need to in order to attract the attention of the right people. So one of the ways that you can reduce the amount of money that you are spending in marketing is to first be very clear about who are you trying to speak to? What is the audience? Whose attention do you actually want to attract? Because if you attract the attention of the right people, chances are you're probably going to actually have way more success. And here's another bonus tip that we've seen a lot of law firms do, and they've been able to significantly reduce the amount of marketing that they've been spending on by the tune of 20 or more percentage points reduction in what they are actually doing in their marketing. Is once you get very clear and you start attracting the right type of potential clients, chances are they know other people who are very similar to them. They know other people who are actually experiencing some of the same frustration or some of the same problem. And if you already know, hey, all of these people probably know other people who are experiencing the same problem, it increases the opportunity for you to get way more referrals. And what I will tell you is getting referrals can often be a lot cheaper than you going out and spending money on getting new leads or doing new marketing strategies. So I hope that's helpful for you as a way to look at how much are we spending on our marketing and how do we get more precise, which will allow us to not have to spend as much as before if your ads or your marketing or your content was very generic. So thanks for tuning in. Also, one of the things that I will say is we also created a marketing analyzer tool. Add that in the comments and you can download that one for free. The way that it works is you can take what is your revenue goal for your firm. You can plug in what is your average case value, like about how much money does each client spend. And then you can also plug in what is your average cost to acquire a client. What that tells me is you can look at your marketing spend over the last 6 months, look at the number of new clients you brought in over the last 6 months. It's going to help you understand about how much are you spending to attract new clients. Once you plug in those 3 numbers in the calculator, it's going to help estimate for you, hey, here's about how much money you should be expecting to spend on your marketing to achieve that goal. And then it's going to give you some ideas of if you had a better referral program or if you had a more precise marketing strategy, it'll show you how that number can actually start to go down the more you improve your marketing strategy. So you can click on the link for that in the comments below and you can download your copy for free and you can check that out and actually start to get more strategic about how you're spending your marketing dollars. Hey, thanks for tuning in and until next time.